afternoon, learners, and welcome to Aral Tarlakenyo, here on RTV Tarlac Channel 26, simulcast over DCTC 828 Radyo Pilipino Tarlac. Broadcasting to you live here in Paniki, Tarlac, I am Melvin Jeric A. Medrano from Moncada National High School, your teacher broadcaster for TLE Grade 8 ICT Illustration. I would like to invite you to join us in an exciting learning experience at home. I want you to prepare your competency based learning material and learning activity sheets in ICT illustration, focusing on drawing different human character following their proper proportion. Prepare your pen and paper as well, so that you may take down notes to remember as we go along with our lesson. Now, are you ready, students? All right, great. Before that, be sure you are in a good, comfortable, and well learning environment so you can listen to the topic very well. But first, let's have a review on our previous lesson. Do you still remember our previous topic? All right, very good. Now, last time, we discussed about the different body types of a human character and the different shapes used in creating them. Now, can you identify the different body types of a human character? All right, excellent. The different body types of a human character are the following. We have doughboy, baby, heavy, lanky, muscle, hero, and heroine. All right, now students, can you still identify the different shapes in constructing your character? All right, great job. So the different shapes in constructing your character are the following. So we have circle, oblong, square, rectangle, rhombus, and triangle. I am glad that you still remember our previous lesson. Now, students, are you ready for our new lesson? All right, so let's begin and open your competency based learning material in ICT illustration. And we will focus our discussion on the area of drawing different character following their proper proportion. All right, first, let us define what is human body proportion. Well, human body proportion, as part of artistic anatomy, it explores the relation of the elements of the human body to each other and to the whole. Now, these ratios are used in depictions of the human figure and may become part of an artistic canon of body proportion within a culture. Now, what is the importance of proportion in drawing? The importance of proportion on drawing are the following. Number one, it plays a critical role in whether or not your drawing will look realistic. Now, proportion is not the size of an object, but rather it is the size of the object in relation to other objects around it. Number two, it is especially effective in training the eyes to see the things as it is in its relational proportion. Realistic drawing depends heavily on proper proportional correctness, and individuals whose job require close estimation of size relationship and develop a great facility in perceiving proportion. And number three, be aware of details and really seeing things as they are. As an artist, you notice all the details and how they relate to the object as a whole and what that object relates to other object. Now, do you have any idea how to draw a human body? All right, so let's enumerate the techniques on how to draw a human body. Number one, never start from the head, but draw your way down. So you need to check first the proportion of the human body that you will need to create based on its gender and age. Number two, work in layers. You can overlap the parts of the body of your drawing until you finalize it. And number three, draw rough shapes to find the details. In this way, your body proportions are correct and everything is in place before you put too much time into details you can't erase and fix. Now, do you have any idea how the important points and differences in men and women's body? All right, so let's enumerate the important points and differences. Number one, men are generally taller than women. Number two, head is not round, but more like an inverted egg. Number three, women's body is made up of oval and has soft shapes, while a man's body is made up of trapezoid and has angular shapes. Number four, the elbows are in waist level. Five, in women, shoulders are narrower than their hips, while in men, shoulders are broader than their hips. Number six, fingertips are at mid thigh. And number seven, legs taper inward from the hips. It is more pronounced in women than in men. Then stagger out at knees to taper in again. And now let us explore the proportion of the human body. The unit of measurement of the human body is the head. The typical type of a male body is equivalent to 8 heads tall, like the figure on our slide. The female body is slightly smaller, about 7.5 heads tall. Now, my students, please realize that these are guidelines and that once you are thoroughly familiar with it, you will naturally turn away from them. What really makes a body well proportioned, and that is essential, is the way characters are placed in respect to each other. Now, let us explore the thresholds of the 8 head body with alignment that needs to be memorized. Number one, the figure is approximately 8.5 or 8 heads tall, depends on the gender. About 2 heads down from the top of the figure is the line of the nipples. About 3 heads down from the top of the figure is the navel or belly button and same level with the elbow. About 4 heads down from the top of the figure is the pubic bone, the crotch, and same level of the wrist. Remember, the pubic bone is approximately the halfway point of the body. 5. About 5 heads down from the top of the figure is the fingertips, lined up with the mid thigh or the femur, or the upper leg bone. About 6 heads down from the top is the kneecap. About 7 heads down from the top is the bottom of the calf muscles. And lastly, the bottom of the feet. And now, let us explore the body proportion of a child. Now remember that children's proportion vary as they grow, so it is not possible to give a fixed scale like the adults. However, the head grows very little compared to the body, so you can almost think of it as already having its adult size while it takes 18 years for the body to catch up. Now, for a newborn baby, it is hardly longer than 2 heads, especially if the legs are folded up. The baby is also chubbier when young and almost no neck during toddler years. Now, at 3 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 3 heads. It is also noticed a bean-shaped body of the child and has prominent butt. At 6 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 4 heads. At 9 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 5 heads. At 12 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 6 heads. At 14 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 7 heads. And lastly, at 18 years old, it is considered as the final size or a grown-up adult. Now, my dear students, do not forget that boys and girls' bodies start getting different during the early teens. Now, for girls, that means acquiring a waistline, hips, and breasts. Now, for the boys, shoulders get broader, hands and feet grow to suddenly to an adult size. And the lines are getting harder or having a muscular physique. Now, let us discuss how to draw an average human head and its proportions. But first, let us define what is a portrait. Now, a portrait is a painting or other artistic representation of a person in which the face and its expression is predominant. Now, a portrait is also the best example when used in creating or drawing an average human head and its proportion. Now, let's check the general rules in drawing facial proportions using a portrait. Here are the rules. Number one, the eyes are halfway between the top of the head and the chin. Number two, the bottom of the nose is halfway between the eyes and the chin. And number three, the mouth is halfway between the nose and the chin. Number four, the corners of the mouth lined up with the center of the eyes. Number five, the top of the ears lines up the center of the eyes. And last, number six, the bottom of the ears lines up with the bottom of the nose. All right, my dear students, now let us draw a facial portrait. Kindly get a pen and a paper and follow the instructions properly. And also remember, students, the steps so that you will be guided properly. All right, let's start. Step number one, draw an egg shape. Remember that the narrow part of the egg points down, as this will become the chin. Step number two, draw a line vertically right through the center of the egg. This line will make sure that you line up the nose, the mouth, and the eyes correctly. Step number three, draw a horizontal line halfway down the egg. This is where the eyes and the top of the ears will go. Step number four, halfway between the eye line and the chin, draw a second horizontal line. This is where the bottom of the nose and the ears will go. Step 5. A third on the way down from the nose line, draw a third horizontal line. This is where the mouth will go. Step number 6. Draw in the eyes with the corners on the line. Now, to ensure the eyes are at the correct size, you should be able to fit 5 equal eye widths across the head. Step number 7. Draw the bottom of the nose. Remember, the nostrils should rest on the line. Step number 8. Draw in the mouth with the line dividing the two lips. By measuring a third in from the inside corner of the eye and drawing a line vertically on each side, you can achieve an accurate mouth width. Step 9. Draw in the ears and the hairline. Now, for the hairline, you can help determine the shape of the face. But remember, the ears must fit between the eye and the nose line. And lastly, step number 10. Draw the neck by drawing a vertical line from the outer corner of the eye on each side to achieve the correct width. Alright, my dear students, I will give you some final tips in drawing or creating your own facial portrait. Here are the tips. Number 1, once you've refined all the facial features and are happy with what you see, you can now erase the pencil grid in your drawing. Number 2, for the hair on a life-size portrait, you need to add 1 or 2 inches of hair above the head so that it will look most realistic. Number 3, you can add bangs at the side or add bangs or hair at the sides of the face if it is appropriate. Number 4, make the hair loose looking so that it is more realistic. Number 5, sometimes ears are completely covered by hair, especially if it is a woman's portrait. But if they're not, or just partially covered, notice how much they stick out and their weakly folds. You can also include earrings if you like and if it is appropriate. And lastly, number 6, to finish off the drawing, shade in appropriate areas like the hair, the lips, around the eyes, the cheekbones, and the background. And also can add contrast on your drawing. Now, once you have mastered these steps, you can now create your own facial portrait quickly, appropriately, and with perfection. All right, my dear students, let's have a recap of our topic. Again, what is a body proportion? All right, for a body proportion, it explores the relation of the elements of the human body to each other and to the whole. These ratios are used in depictions of the human figure and may become part of an artistic canon of body proportion within a culture. Now, we also discussed the different body proportion of a child. Now, again, what are the different body proportion of a child? All right, so here are the body proportion. For a newborn baby, it is approximately equivalent to 2 heads tall. For 3 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 3 heads tall. For 6 years old, it is equivalent to 4 heads tall. For 9 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 5 heads tall. For 12 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 6 heads tall. For 14 years old, it is approximately equivalent to 7 heads tall. And lastly, at 18 years old, it is considered the final size or equivalent to 8 heads tall. All right, my dear students, at this juncture, let us see how well you understand our lesson. So kindly get a piece of paper and a pen. And for those who are in the FB Live, you can comment your answer in the chat box. This is just a multiple choice assessment or quiz, and it only consists of 5 items. Now you may write down your answer in your answer sheet or comment in the chat box. So I will read the question twice, okay? All right, are you ready? Let's begin. Question number 1. It explores the relation of the elements of the human body to each other and to the whole. A. Portrait. B. Body proportion. C. Drawing. D. Picture. Again, it explores the relation of the element of the human body to each other and to the whole. A. Body or A. Portrait. B. Body proportion. C. Drawing. Or D. Picture. Question number 2. How many thresholds or alignment are there in a full-grown man? A. 8. B. 9. C. 10. Or D. 11. Again, how many thresholds or alignment are there in a full-grown man? A. 8. B. 9. C. 10. Or D. 11. Question number 3. When drawing a child's body, babies or toddlers don't have blank. A. Eyes. B. Neck. C. Hands. Or D. Lips. Again, when drawing a child's body, babies or toddlers don't have blank. A. Eyes. B. Neck. C. Hands. Or D. Lips. Question number 4. When drawing a facial portrait, the first step is to blank. A. Draw the eyes. B. Draw the lips. C. Draw an inverted egg shape. Or D. Draw the ears. Again, when drawing a facial portrait, the first step is to blank. A. Draw the eyes. B. Draw the lips. C. Draw an inverted egg shape. Or D. Draw the ears. Now for our last question, question number 5. It is a representation of a person in which the face and its expression is predominant. A. Portrait. B. Video. C. Sound. Or D. Lights. Again, it is a representation of a person in which the face and its expression is predominant. A. Portrait. B. Video. C. Sound. Or D. Lights. Alright, this is it. Are you ready to check your answers? Alright, so here are the answers. For question number 1, the correct answer is letter B, body proportion. Question number 2, the answer is letter A, 8. For number 3, the answer is letter B, neck. For number 4, the answer is letter C, draw an inverted egg shape. And for number 5, the correct answer is letter A, portrait. All right, count the number of the correct items. And for those who got a perfect score, congratulations, you did a great job. For those who got 4 to 3, still very good. For those who got 2 and below, still okay. Don't lose hope and keep trying. So just get your module in TLE ICT illustration and review your answers until you get a perfect score. All right, my dear students, that was a great learning experience with you. Hopefully you enjoyed our lesson for today. Thank you for listening. Again, I am your teacher broadcaster, Melvin Jeric A. Medrano from Moncada National High School, your teacher for TLE Grade 8 ICT Illustration. Let us remember, in TLE, we have skills, knowledge, and progress. Thank you very much and keep safe, everyone. Until next time.